Because, like most people, often, throughout our awake time of the day, we find that events occur without reason, or without warning. Often, throughout our awake time of day, if we are alert to these events, we try to determine the causes of these events, that occur without reason, or without warning. There are reasons and they are caused by secret buttons, hidden throughout our days and lives. Secret buttons, which are pressed by secret fingers, with agendas. This is a dream guide, with your dream guide, friend, and together we will identify the locations of many secret buttons. Hopefully, by the end of this dream guide, once you know the locations of many secret buttons, you will be able to prevent the secret buttons from being pressed by the secret fingers with agendas. This is the secret buttons dream. Now as we begin the process of sleep, we must begin by focusing on your breath. Inhale deep into your lungs, and let the breath push down, beyond your belly, beyond your lap, to your thighs, beyond your knees, beyond, past your feet, beyond the bedroom doorway, the soles of your feet face, beyond your hallway, beyond your kitchen, beyond your back door, which connects the outside world to your inside house world. Keep inhaling, and push down, and beyond all of the outside world, and then beyond whatever you imagine is beyond what you can imagine. As you breathe in, you must envision many tiny, invisible secret fingers from the world within this breath, because your breath has gathered many tiny, invisible secret fingers. And these fingers need buttons to push buttons that are within you. And you must hold the breath for a few seconds. Let your blood move the many, tiny, invisible secret fingers of the earth, and let the blood circulate the fingers, so they may enter your tissues, and organs, and cells. Your many rooms, with many panels, with many buttons. Now exhale, and release all of the tiny, invisible, secret fingers of the world into the air around you. They have pushed many of your secret buttons, and it is time for them to feel accomplished and released from their natural duty. And you should begin to feel sleepy. Continue to focus on your breath, and inhale deep into your lungs, and let the breath push down, beyond your home, beyond the nearest gas stations, to your favorite fast food restaurant, and then beyond to that intersection where you were almost ran over, beyond past your favorite forest, beyond your memory of every forest where you first realized your connection to the earth, and took off your shoes to be barefoot and connected to the earth, and realized you were a type of animal, and then push your breath beyond that memory as well. Continue to breathe in and envision a new generation of many tiny, invisible, secret fingers from the world. Within this breath, because your breath has gathered the children of the first many tiny, invisible, secret fingers that you let enter your body. These fingers, because they are younger, have something to prove, and need to push all of the buttons that are within you. You must hold the breath for a few seconds. Let your blood move the new generation of the many tiny, invisible, secret fingers, so they may enter your tissues, and organs, and cells. Your many math classrooms, with many scientific calculators, with many buttons and functions. Now exhale, and release all of the new generation of the many, tiny, invisible, secret fingers of the world into the air around you. And now, remain breathing, because now, you are asleep, and ready for another dream. This is the Secret Buttons Dream. We begin with your morning, while you are asleep in bed. It is morning, but your day has already been up for hours, flying in from the east. There is a button in the morning. When it is pressed, it causes you to cough and wake from bed. After you cough and wake from bed, you ask, "What is wrong with me?" And feel your throat for a button that always causes you to cough. But you find no button, and try to create a cocoon with your blankets. But your blankets are no longer in your bed, and this is because there is a button in your bed which removes your blankets even while you are in bed, asleep. Often, you accidentally press this button when your feet hang off the edge of the bed. If you find your feet hang too far off the bed, you should consider attaching a smaller bed to the end of your bed to prevent your feet from pressing a secret button. And so, you try to knit the air into a cocoon around you, but the air is not something that knits without years of practice. And you decide that even though it will still take time, but not as much time as practicing to knit the air, you decide that you will grow your hair until it is long enough to knit into a cocoon around you. However, your morning presses a button, and the sun rises, and your hair has not grown a noticeable amount to even consider it as hair that has grown longer. In frustration, you press your fingers around various places in your scalp, thinking that there must be a secret button there to control your hair growth. There is not a button within your scalp that controls your hair growth. There is a button within your scalp that controls your dream. You have pressed that button. And now, we are in the Secret Oasis Dream. It begins with me telling you about someone who told me how they had saved 7 paychecks and built a tropical oasis. And I wonder now if it was you that told me about someone who had saved 7 paychecks and built a tropical oasis. And you say, it was me, but not about someone else. It was me. I was the someone who saved 8 paychecks and built a tropical oasis. Then I follow you to your backyard, to what looks like a greenhouse made out of clear trash bags and fallen branches. Inside, it is hot, with the tropical climate, and quiet. Not even a snake can be heard. It was full of the kind of tropical plants you could afford to buy from a store that was famous for selling basic color towels. It is the store that everyone buys their basic color towels from. In fact, I am thinking about buying green basic towels now that I have seen your secret oasis. But you tell me, no, this is the greenhouse. The secret oasis is behind the ferns. I smile, because it was warm and humid. And because the thought of you hiding your secret oasis behind the ferns was so nice, I couldn't stop smiling. In fact, I think you hit a secret button with your words, and my face muscles went into statue mode, and then my arms, and my aims, and my desires went into statue mode as well. I became a statue, and you were very pleased by this, because I could be another statue for your secret oasis behind the ferns. A secret oasis of statues, of people you were able to capture and keep because you know how to hit a secret button with your words. Often, in dreams, we have the ability to turn people we care about into statues. While there are no dream laws about this practice, there is a kind of dream karma, which may or may not exist, which may affect your dream fate. So, be careful before you start pressing secret buttons with your words, and turning your friends, or maybe passing pedestrians, into statues. Often, in dreams, when we create a statue, or build a secret oasis, to hide our statue victims, we are expressing a desire to become a type of weather, the kind from the early earth, the weather that helped shape the many geological sites of beauty people often want to capture in oil paintings or postcards. But you are a person and do not have millions or more years of wind and moisture to carve new and beautiful geological sites. You have an impulse and know a secret button and create statues in a shortcut type of way. Not even in a carving with your hands and finger tools kind of way. When you awake after this dream, take a look around your life and ask yourself, which hard-earned, beautiful things am I taking shortcuts to put into my life? It could be a car or a loaf of bread. Examine the shortcuts you took in life to consume that loaf of bread. Back in your greenhouse, you move me to your secret oasis of statues, and place me next to the statue of your first pet cat. And this presses a secret button made out of my emotions. This button, controlled by my emotions, controls your dream. You have pressed that button. You have pressed that button, and now we are in the buying a boat dream. And this dream begins with you telling me how you want to buy a boat. But we are too far from a body of water large enough to accommodate a boat. So instead, we visit a used bookstore and find a calendar full of pictures of boats from the year 1986. I tell you that even if you can't use the calendar for this year, you can use it for another year, because there are not that many variations for calendars. Because years will repeat, but not how you think. But then, you make a face at me, and I realize that I made a mistake. I apologize, and say, yes, years will repeat, exactly like how you might think too. We look at your calendar of boats, and you say, this is not what I meant about buying a boat, because now I have 12 pictures of boats from 1986. By realizing this disappointment, you have pressed another secret button, and you are not afraid to ask, what is a chair? Because you have pressed the forgetful button, and this is when you begin to forget your entire life, and how straining, and you are unafraid of being forgetful, just like when you go to the hospital and receive the hospital bumps that occur after your treatments for secret button bumps. As your friend, I do not laugh when we go out to eat, and you put food in front of your face and ask, what is bread? I also do not laugh when you ask, what is a salad? This will go on until the bill arrives, and you ask, what is a wallet? As it so often occurs, symptoms can be improved with a cup of medicine, which in its own way, a cup of medicine can push many secret buttons within you. Movies go out of their way to portray this. I ask you if you remember reading the warning label that came with the first movie you ever saw. But you do not, so I remind you that the warning label read, you are given 2 eyes, and 2 ears, and 1 brain. so that you may see and hear twice as much as think. As you pull money out of your wallet to put into your mouth, you may not remember when you first read other warning labels, like the labels that are on dollars, that say, "Do not put dollars inside of your mouth," even though you want to feel their tenderness. The smell of money pushes a button, and the swelling of the hospital bumps subsides. And I will pay the bill and listen to you laugh as you remember what is a chair, and a bread, and a salad, and a wallet. This button, controlled by the smell of money, controls your dream. You have pressed that button, and now we are in the hands dream. It is during the sleeping part of the day, and we are walking on roads without sidewalks. And when you speak, your voice is sad. When you say, "I hate when children go missing, and wish I could turn off my Amber Alerts this evening, because too many children are going missing," I show you how to access the settings menu and turn off emergency alerts on your phone. Then I jam my hands into my pockets and say, I wish my hands didn't know more about how to use devices than my mind. It is automatic at this point. My hands move faster than my mouth. You point to a crypt at the edge of the graveyard and say, "Looks like a tiny house for a tiny vampire." I point to the trees without leaves around the crypt, and then the trees with leaves away from the crypt, and say, "There are probably tiny vampires in there. Look at the sad trees near the crypt." But then, you tell me about how you like to study books about human anatomy, and how you like drawings of capillaries and veins. Then you say, "You know, sometimes when I see trees in the winter, I feel like those are the upside down, and outside the body, capillaries and veins of the soil of the earth, and when I see them, then I know there is a pattern and reason for everything." And your statement about human anatomy presses a secret button within me, and I want to talk to you about tattoos. Because here there is a tradition of introducing yourself to others through your tattoos. But I don't have a tattoo, and no one knows my real name. For many years now, at masquerade balls and masquerade potlucks, I sit alone and carry a sullen air about me. A sullen air that I hope might deprive every room and person of air. I spend these evenings with my fingers and count them many times. It is not that I do not have any idea of what tattoo would be best to introduce myself with, because I do. It is that I have yet to find an artist with the necessary skill for my tattoo. Because it must be the image of the tail end of a car slowly sinking into a bog. I want a bog tattooed on my chest, and the tail lights of the car must illuminate the sludged surface of the bog as the car sinks into down and out of sight. Those tail lights must also illuminate the air of the night that surrounds the car, because cars sink best in bogs at night. Those tail lights must also illuminate the night of air that always surrounds me. So, I continue to attend masquerade parades and masquerade baby showers, and continue to go without introducing myself to others, and think of a time in the future when the glow of tail lights from my chest might distract every gathering. And my tattoo story pushes a button within you that begins to wake you up. And, when you begin to wake up, another button is pushed that makes you stop worrying about the secret buttons within the world. Secret buttons, and your worry about their control over your life. And realizing this pushes another button within you. And now, you are awake. This has been The Secret Buttons Dream, with your dream guide, friend. Dream guides are written and recorded by Chad Redden.